Hi folks, so this is my last video on my trip to Winnipeg and kind of a accumulation of my thrifting and my shopping in a warehouse that I know about. The warehouse stuff was going to be a little bit further in the video here. I'm doing my thrift stuff first, so stay tuned. If you love new old stock and exploring buildings and such, stay tuned. So anyway, this was a Topo Gigio that was at one Value Village, I think it was. It was $3.99 or $6.99, something like that. But these are only going for about $10 or $15 now, so they're just wasn't worth picking up. Good for a collector, maybe cheap for a collector, but not for me. And at an MCC, there was a couple of these Fry's coffee mugs, hot chocolate mugs rather. They were $3.50 a piece. Reasonable enough. I get 15 out of them, but I've got tons of this sort of stuff right now, so I'm just not interested. Stuff that's 20 and under, got lots of it. And Value Village, oh my goodness, your prices are going crazy. $749 for what I believe is a white gold chain. Come on, maybe platinum, but $749. You're not a luxury goods store, you're a secondhand store. Check out those prices, guys. Oh man. And another, oh man, what is this? What is this beige thing? It just, I'm assuming it's some kid's pottery class vase or something, but it looks like something entirely different. Something I really would think should be in a thrift shop, but anyway, whatever. Let me know your weirdest, grossest find in a thrift shop below. There was lots of these shades at all sorts of the thrifts. I saw 5 of them. So, and I've got like 20 of them, so I don't need any more. But they're all under $5, worth picking up. And at a antiques/thrift, there was these Boy George pins, but they weren't licensed or didn't have licensing on them. So technically they couldn't be sold in the US, and that's where I would have shipped them to a warehouse fine buyer, I know. And then there was this teapot. It was $9.99. Would you have bought it? I was considering it briefly, because I did look at it closely. And you can kind of, I don't know if you can tell by the photo, but you can kind of tell that it looks a little bit crazed. So, which isn't that big of a deal. It's condition problem. It's a condition problem, but it's not that big of a deal. But it's also not only crazed. It's made by Medalta, by the way, which the logo shows here, but you'll see it's really stained too, so that pretty much kills the value, and it's got a extra crack there. You can see a crack up on the right corner. So yeah, it's a little too stained. $45 teapot in nice condition though, but not in that shape. And off to the warehouse, digging through the basement. Found a cubbyhole room I'd never been in before, and I've been going to this place for 30 years. Okay. But, and I found this room. Unfortunately, I got to it too late. It was flooded about 7-8 years ago, something like that. And all the labels were stuck together or otherwise moldy or wrecked. No good. I was kind of disappointed. Easily marketable to movies and that sort of thing, movies, TV, for filling shelves on period flicks. You wrap it around a paint can, wrap it around a food can. And Chris from Brick and Soul, you need to come to Manitoba and buy this pallet of glass. Brick and Soul is a channel on YouTube. He's dealing with a brown shoe factory, brown shoes, Buster Brown. Anyway, I'll talk about that again in a bit. These are some cast iron bathtub legs. This particular family used to own not just warehouses, but a lot of properties, including apartments. So when one of them came down, they salvaged stuff and ended up getting all this a lot of bathtub legs. But that also included the bathtubs, which they still have. So if you need a cast iron bathtub, I know where you can get one with legs, but yeah, I'm not sure what kind of cost you're looking at, but they won't sell the legs separate, so don't even entertain the thought of it. So yeah, I could get you a lot of cast iron bathtubs, but anyway, the legs, like I said, just weren't for sale, so that's unfortunate. But if you're into vintage clothing, oh man, this is heaven for you guys. There's tons of vintage clothing there. I did contact a major vintage clothing house out in BC, but after saying, oh yeah, I'm interested, we're interested, yeah, I'd come out, blah, 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 they ghosted me basically. So much for that. Their loss. I was willing to show them this hoard plus other places. These are some, I think, Chinese sandals made of rope or string sort of stuff. And these are some calipers, or not calipers, matrix holders is what they are for, I believe, linotype. That's what they are. So yeah, kind of cool. If I was doing eBay, I would buy them to sell on eBay, but I don't do eBay anymore, and I don't know if I can sell them off my website. It's a very specific, very niche area. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Probably could make some good money on them too, but damn, I don't know. Just maybe I'll pick them up next time. We'll see, but who knows. And like I was saying, here's some more of the clothing. If you're a major vintage clothing buyer that wants to pick up a cube van load, there's lots. It has been gone through. There has been locals going through it. As you can tell, they made a heck of a mess, which really irritates me personally because I'm very careful when I'm going through the place. So yeah, I try to keep stuff neat and organized, but unfortunately some people are disrespectful and just make a mess, which is too bad. And yeah, more vintage clothes, lots of hats, tons of hats. So yeah, there's tons of vintage here, and like I said, it could be a good hoard for somebody. If you're dealing in smaller sizes, probably better even, but there's still tons of stuff. Probably could do fairly well. And Chris, here's another load of glass. Like I said, Brick and Soul is a YouTube channel that he's restoring a brown shoe factory in Illinois. But yeah, I don't know if they're holding on to this stuff for themselves. So this is the last of the Winnipeg trip videos. I'll show you what I picked up at a couple other places. I went to an antique show and some thrifts, as well as a warehouse that I know about. So anyway, I'll show you some of this stuff. We've got some Royal Crown Soap coupons. I think I paid $55 or $50 for that stack of them. Just kind of neat Winnipeg stuff. They're cut out of Royal Crown boxes, but there are collectors for these coupons and tokens and that sort of thing, so hopefully I'll recoup or at least double my money on these, hoping, just crossing my fingers. And then we got a whole bunch of these out of one of my warehouse favorite warehouses. New old stock. Bought them mainly for the sockets. That's what I was after. I got a whole bunch of them here, right there. But yeah, the bases are cool as well, but they're meant for washrooms, most of these. Oh, that one isn't. That one's a different one. That's good. But most of them have the shaver plug there. And I got a whole box of new old stock military issue thread. So it'd be good for those repairing uniforms and such. They were pretty much sold out of this stuff, and I found one stray box, so I was glad to get it. And let's see, there was these sports eye protectors, so basically used for baseball, basketball, football, all kinds of sports. Protect your eyes, protect your glasses. These are new old stock. They were actually military surplus, these ones, from 48 for combat training, I guess, or close quarters combat training of some sort. So anyway, but they were used for all kinds of sports. And we got another Pyrene fire extinguisher bracket. That's what that is. Old Jenny Sweet Stables Family, World of Fun for Little Girls, made by Matchbox. Not one I'm familiar with. I'm assuming 70s or maybe 80s. Probably 80s. Let's see, 88, yeah. So not a toy I'm familiar with, but it was mint in package, so I grabbed it. And then this aquatint etching right there. So basically a watercolor filled or watercolor colored etching. And it was $10.99. I did check on it. I forget now who the artist was. But it's worth about $150. So I did pretty good on that. Not going to be an easy sale, but still for $11, I'll take it. All right, and a bit of hardware. This stuff's just actually for sink towel bars. I've got a bunch of them, so I had to pick up some hardware. And we've got a Post cereal premium. Picked this up at the show. Still in the original package from the cereal, and it's a hockey player there. Cost me $5 there, about 25, I think. We got this pin, Stop Hitler, Mayday 1939 Winnipeg, Save World Peace pin back. So that was kind of cool. And we got a bunch of cutlery. Some Three Bears here. Three Bears cutlery there, right there. Got a Big Bird. Got a Canadian, Ford Motor Company there. Let's see, Winnie the Pooh, I guess that is. I'm assuming, pretty sure. Sylvester fork. Got a couple Snoopies, three Snoopy forks. Got a couple customers for those probably. And we've got some railway ones. Oh, and Mickey Mouse. Got a Mickey Mouse fork. And we've got some railway cutlery. Canadian National Railways. Got a big serving spoon. Most of these cost me $2, $3, $1 type thing. So I did pretty good on the cutlery, because a lot of them, they're cleaned up and everything. They're anywhere from $5 to $25 a piece. So I did pretty good. Canadian National Railways with the box logo. Canadian Pacific Railway. This is Canadian Railway News. Canadian Pacific Railway. We've got several Canadian Nationals. Got a clock key in here as well. Got some Bakelite, some an hors d'oeuvre set. Now you got to watch buying these at these thrifts, because sometimes they're not complete sets. But luckily, I got 5 of these picks, or 6. Sorry, not 5, 6 of these picks, and the serving piece here. And I guess it's a fish fork of some kind, or sardine fork. It's got a little fishy on the end there. And we've got a photograph of a threshing scene. That was kind of neat. It's just neat to get those. It was Dinner at the Harvest Field, it's the title. But unfortunately, no idea where it is. Then we got Champs mug. You can see there. Champs was the Kentucky Fried Chicken outlet in Manitoba. So it was a Champs Fine Foods. And so got a root beer mug there, or that root beer mug, and Corral, or rather Pyrex, not Corral, Pyrex gravy boat. Good for, I think, $15 or $20, something like that. And on a a Hill Security Van Lines Ralstoy. I've got 2 or 3 other Ralstoys right now, so this will make a 3rd or 4th one. And then we've got a Galpern's bag. I've got a whole bunch of these. I got a handful of them. There was cases of them I could have gotten, but I only need a few. I don't think I'll sell more than 5 or 10 in my career anyway. And last but not least, I got this mid-century modern lamp. And it was a thrift shop find. You can see here, original shade. That is an original shade. I thought maybe it was a reproduction, but no, it's an original. And it is made by Rembrandt. So, turns out it's a really good lamp. Cost me $10 and change. And it is a $150 lamp. So that was pretty good. I was happy with that. It's a good thrift score. So yeah, that was about all. Hit lots of thrift shops, Goodwill, Sally Ann, Value Village, MCCs, Super Thrift, among others. So yeah, did a lot of thrift shopping. Didn't find a whole lot at the thrift stores though. As you can see, I found at the thrift shops, basically I got the Bakelite pick set and the lamp, and there was another antique shop, thrift shop that a fellow runs that I did pick up the coupons from, but it's more of an antique shop. So yeah, not a lot from the thrifts. Oh, I did get the aquatint etching at the thrifts as well, so that's all right. Anyway, so that's what I got at Winnipeg, the last run. Hopefully not going to spend a ton more money until I make a good chunk of it back. But you can't make money if you're not spending it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Please be sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos on antiquing, picking, thrifting, scrapping, etc. Take care, folks.